Hi, this is Lucia with The Art of Love. I'm a dating and relationship expert specializing in helping you get your ex back or to get over your ex. This week, I want to talk about why is my ex taking so long to come back? In the words of the famous figure skater Nancy Kerrigan, why? Why are they moving at a snail's pace? Let's define what long means, because when you're in no contact, 1 day can feel like a week. 2 weeks is not a long time in the world of no contact. 30 days is not a long time in the world of no contact, and in fact, even 45 days is not a long time. Keep in mind that right now you're literally like a drug addict going through withdrawal, and in fact, the brains of people going through a breakup have been shown to look similar to the brains of people withdrawing from cocaine. I understand you want your hit and you want it now. So let's find out why it's taking so long for you to get your hit. But first, I want to welcome back my beautiful No Contact Army. Thank you so much to everyone who has downloaded my app Silencio to help you stay in no contact. And if you haven't, the link is below every single video and podcast. And if you too would like to join our No Contact Army, all you have to do is hit the subscribe button and the bell notification, and you're in. And to read our manual, go to nocontactsecrets.com, where you can read 2 free chapters before you purchase the book. Okay, so before I start, I just want you to keep one thing in mind, and that is that in many cases, this is also difficult for them. They may not have wanted the breakup, but felt like they had no choice. So if it seems like a long time, they're probably not doing it on purpose. And one of the reasons why you want to know why things are taking so long is because there's an open loop. And as I talked about in my video titled 7 Reasons Why No Contact Works on Everyone, the brain does not like an open loop. What's an open loop? Something that's incomplete. Here's an example actually of something that happened to me yesterday. The car in front of me on the freeway had their right turn signal on, but they weren't changing lanes, and it was bugging, well, not me, but my brain, because there's no reason logically why it should be bugging me, but it was an open loop because it was an action that wasn't completed. It was a mystery as to whether he was going to be changing lanes or whether he had the signal on by mistake. So the brain is literally like, pick a lane, right? Like, pick a lane. Stay where you are or turn right, but do something with that signal. Turn it off. That's why people ask for a closure. What are they trying to close? They're trying to close an open loop. So same with your ex and hearing from them when you see that they're posting cryptic quotes or they're sending you breadcrumbs. It's like a turn signal, and you think they're going to make a move, but they don't. And you're like, pick a lane, right? Either come back or leave me alone. But keep in mind that just as they are a mystery to you because you wonder if and when they're going to reach out, you are also a mystery to them because they most likely thought you were going to reach out to them, and they're also wondering if and when you're going to reach out. So this is like a game of chicken. Who is going to break first? Well, I know that you're not going to break if you joined my No Contact Army. Remember our slogan, we don't react, we do no contact. Okay, so the first reason why your ex may be taking so long to contact you is because you made the breakup difficult. And that's because you refuse to let go. So they're afraid that if they reach out to you and then they realize that, oops, maybe I don't want to get back together, now they have to deal with you again, making it difficult for them to go away a second time. So you gotta let people do what they're gonna do. That's the mindset you need to have in your friendships and your relationships, and your life will be a lot easier. So if this was you, then it's extra important that you stay in no contact and do not respond to breadcrumbs. A second reason is that you're in different stages. So they knew about this breakup before you did, often many weeks or months before. So while you are grieving the loss, they may be in the relief stage, and they're experiencing what is known as separation elation. They may have been experiencing anxiety before they finally pulled the trigger, so to speak, but now that they did, they're relieved and they're looking forward to what's ahead. But as time goes by, things often flip, and there's a quote that says, "Dump her, laugh now, cry later. Dumpy, cry now, laugh later." So though you may be crying now, it's very possible that your ex will be crying later, but you're going to have to wait for them to get to that stage. And no, I don't know how long it's going to take. Every breakup has different variables. So first they have to experience life without you in order to realize that it was better with you in their life. And even when they start to think that, they have to decide when to reach out, what to say, whether to text, whether to call, etc., etc. It's rarely a spur-of-the-moment decision. Okay, the third reason why it's taken them so long to get back to you is because it probably took them a while to decide that they wanted to break up with you, so it's going to take a while for them to decide that they want you back in their life. No one's breaking up with you on Monday and getting back with you on Friday, though that's what everyone wants who's been broken up with. They want to be solved quickly, like a mystery movie of the week, where it's all wrapped up in a nice package in a short amount of time. That rarely happens. Getting an ex back usually takes months. And that's good news for you, actually, because it gives you time to work on yourself, because I'm assuming if they broke up with you, it's not because you were perfect. Ha ha. And speaking of time is actually on your side, and I've done a video on that, which I'll put the link in the upper right-hand corner on YouTube. The more time that passes, the more time you'll have to step away from the situation and see things more clearly. So you'll have time to understand where you may have gone wrong in the relationship that led to the breakup and what you can do better next time if you do get a chance. All right. The next reason why they are taking so long is they want to make sure that they really do want to get back together and they're not just missing you. Once people make a decision, very often they hate to change it, except for those individuals who are constantly changing their minds and driving everyone crazy. But for the rest of us, we like to think that we've taken our time and made a great decision, and when we start to have second thoughts, we don't want to rush and do anything that we're going to regret. So again, it's about time. They want to take their time. Doesn't mean they're going to forget about you. Doesn't mean they didn't love you. Doesn't mean they don't miss you. Doesn't mean they're not stalking your social media, even if it looks like they're not. And by the way, if you are finding this video helpful, please be sure to give this a like in order to help the YouTube algorithm suggest this to other people so that they too can understand why their ex is taking so long to contact them. Okay, the next reason is that they think you're mad at them and you're going to reject them. So they're concerned that you won't take their call or respond to their texts, and if you do, it will be to tell them off. However, that is not an excuse to break no contact and reach out to make them come back. You're just making it easy on them, because otherwise you're going to set up a very bad dynamic where they know that if they break up with you, you'll reach out to them and they can come back anytime. And in fact, I was speaking with someone recently who's going through their third breakup with the same person. And it's because they let their ex come back incorrectly the first 2 times. So their ex had no problem breaking up with them again. People rarely do something once. And to make sure that does not happen to you, check out my video titled 6 Questions to Ask Your Ex If They Want You Back. And I'll put that in the upper right-hand corner. The next reason is because they have an avoidant attachment style, especially if they're a dismissive avoidant. The avoidants tend to come back last, like after everyone else. The ones with the anxious attachment style, they come back sooner, secure next, and then the avoidants, a distant third. I mean, why? Because it's in the name, avoidant. They're trying to avoid. So don't be surprised. And if you're wondering if your ex was an avoidant, then I suggest you Google traits of an avoidant attachment style. Don't assume that just because they didn't want a commitment or they didn't seem that interested that they were an avoidant. That's not what it means. So look up the traits and see how many your ex has. All right, so we have a few more reasons why it's taking so long. And you're not going to want to hear this, but it's because they're in a rebound relationship. So obviously it's going to take longer than it normally would if there was no third party involved. But as I've said before, most rebound relationships do not work out. So don't worry. Check out my video on rebounds to find out how to handle it when your ex is dating someone else. And yes, I'll put the link in the upper right hand corner. So don't worry about a rebound, because what are the chances that the person that they meet right after the breakup with you is the person they're going to stay with forever? I would say not very high. So there's only two outcomes. They're either going to get married or at some point they're going to break up, okay? And more likely than not, they're going to break up. But right now, they think they can do better. They have the grass is greener syndrome, and you have to wait for them to find out that, actually, you know what? The grass is not greener. And it looks like they may not be able to do better than you. And that's when they start to rethink their decision. And then the last one, it's actually a combination of several things that I've discussed, and that has to do with ego and pride. So people's ego and pride, once they've made a decision, as I've said before, makes them not want to change their minds. But if you stay in no contact, and if they feel enough anxiety, and if it looks like you're moving on, and they have a high interest level, if their interest level goes up, then at some point they're going to have to put their ego and pride to the side. Otherwise, they're going to regret it. Some people, they are going to let ego and pride get in the way, unfortunately. But most people, they are going to reach out. Okay, so a quick recap. Number one, you made the breakup difficult. Number two, you're at different stages. Number three, it takes time for them to realize they made a mistake. Number four, they want to make sure that they really do want to get back together and they're not just missing you. Number five, they think you're mad at them and will reject them. Number six, they're an avoidant. Number seven, they are in a rebound. Number eight, ego and pride. So just before I end, I actually have a success story of someone who stayed in no contact. Okay, and he says, I went total no contact right away. No Instagram, no story views, no calls, no texts, avoided any place I might see her, didn't talk to anyone we both knew about her, said nothing, silent, like I disappeared off the earth. Yes, I say you have to be like someone who's in witness protection and just disappear. After 40 days and 40 nights, she showed up at my doorstep in tears, sobbing, saying she made a mistake. Isn't that what we all want? Don't we all want someone who breaks up with us to show up at our door crying? I haven't had a guy show up at my door crying, but I once had a guy after 2 weeks. He climbed the tree next to my balcony, walked onto my balcony and into my living room. It was a very weird sensation to have someone standing in my living room who did not walk in the front door. And no, we did not get back together. Continuing on, he says, she said she wanted to meet all of my needs, and a few weeks later, she moved in. Our relationship is awesome, and now she knows I have the ability to walk away and stay away, absolutely. Being in no contact sucked, was hard, but I had to show her that I will not break and be weak. That's right. Exactly. Congratulations. Good for you. So now I want to hear from you. Do you know of any other reasons that I haven't mentioned why an ex would take so long to reach out? Please comment below. And in the meantime, if you would like my help to get your ex back, you can contact me at theartoflove.net and we'll send you the rates. The direct link is below every single video and podcast. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. If you're listening to this as a podcast, please rate and review. And finally, remember that love inspires, empowers, uplifts, and enlightens.